Hello everyone, this is Rosemary coming to you from Ansara Angels. This is a video about the White House Twitter page because people have been talking about it since about a week ago, about this seal of the President of the United States being upside down on the Twitter page in the background. As you can see here, it's in the background. And it's taken from someone standing on the ground looking up and taking a picture, and it can be from different vantage points in the president's office, perhaps wanting people to see what he sees. And it can be an artistic expression, it could be a publicity stunt. It's obviously, and it's still like that. This is the 20th of May, and it's been about a week that people have been talking about it, and it's still like that. So one wonders if it's a publicity stunt to get more followers on his Twitter account or the White House's Twitter account. One wonders, what it is. People are saying it might be prophecy or omens, and they may be correct. But someone who places something like this on purpose, unless it's done for artistic expression, or some people say incompetence, maybe, I don't know. But something like this is not an omen or prophecy, it's a magical act of will. If you believe in the Illuminati and you believe in ceremonial magic, something like this is a magical act of will. An omen and a prophecy is not the same thing as a magical act of will. And as you see here, the shield that would normally be upright is upside down, and the eagle's neck and head, and then the sash coming out of his mouth, it looks like a cup and something flowing out of it, like the angels in the book of Revelation that pour out what they're going to do onto the earth, different tasks that they're given by God in the book of Revelations. It pours out upon the earth. So, a lot of people are reading into this, and I'm going to read into it a lot. Okay. Now, the eagle is associated with Scorpio in astrology, which is fixed water. It's associated with the archangel Gabriel, and it's associated with the west, if you're going by ground coordinates, and it's associated with the wind of the west, which is cold and wet. Okay? And there's a verse in the Bible that has to do with the angels and the wind, and it's Revelation chapter 7, verse 1 and 2. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel, and he ascended from the direction of the rising sun, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, and then it goes into other chapters, and the angel of the east is Raphael, who is not Gabriel. It's the opposite of that. But I'm just showing you, I'm not saying that that verse has anything to do with Gabriel per se, but it has to do with the 4 archangels and the 4 winds. Like the wind in the east is warm and moist, and the wind in the west is cold and wet. Those kind of things. So the 4 cherubs, okay? Or cherubs. Okay. Now the upside down eagle, what does that mean? The upside down eagle, what do eagles do when they're upside down? They mate. That's when they're mating. It's like a mating ritual. It's when they're dive bombing for fish. And it's also when they're in a defensive mode because they feel attacked. So, this is something that eagles do for a split second. It's not something they want to show all the time because it shows a vulnerability. When someone is mating or someone is trying to go in and catch some fish, or someone is being defensive, one doesn't want to show that. It's vulnerable. So that's something that the eagle only does for a split second when someone can hardly catch them. It's very hard to catch them doing this. So if one has an eagle in this stance constantly, that's showing vulnerability constantly. That's not good, as far as I can tell, for whomever is doing that. depending, of course, on what their goal is. Okay. This is the vision of Ezekiel, and we have Ezekiel here with the Merkaba, the vehicle, the chariot, and the wheels within wheels, and the four creatures, which are the four cherubs we just talked about, the four archangels, the lion, the eagle which lifts up the serpent, the scorpion, Scorpio. The eagle lifts it up usually, which rises up the evil inclination of the serpent. The serpent is the evil inclination, which is lifted up by the talons of the eagle. If it's upside down, and the eagle's going down, then the evil inclination, which is to receive, is winning. And that's Scorpio, and that's the Archangel Gabriel, and that is water, and it's cold, wet winds. Now, usually the Archangel Gabriel is the eagle's facing up and lifting up the evil inclination of the serpent. But again, in this case, it's facing down, so it's some kind of magical intention or ritual as far as I can tell. Okay. This is the Merkaba field again with the man face, which is Aquarius, the bull face, which is Taurus, the lion face, which is Leo, eagle, which is associated with the ego, it is, and the eagle, the will to receive, the evil inclination, Scorpio, Archangel Gabriel, the angel of death, which is the eagle here on the top. Okay, but the good part of it is the eagle is supposed to, again, lift up the serpent, the receptive nature, the evil inclination to receive for oneself and be selfish. If it's facing down, then it's not so good. Okay, here again, the vision of Ezekiel. We have the four archangels, the four creatures, the four cardinal points, the four fixed signs of the zodiac, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio. We have God on his throne and the sun. Associations are obvious. Again, Christ in the center, the sun, the four cherubs. We have the eagle, Gabriel, the bull, Uriel, the lion, Michael, and the man, Aquarius or Raphael. The divine creature in the center, which is Christ, or the sun, the solar deity. In the center, you see a solar disk here, solar deity, the sun, Son of God. Okay. I'm going to go a step further and read into this more and associate the four cherubs and the four winds and the four angels and the four fixed signs of the zodiac and the four seasons that we go through, also with the four horsemen of the apocalypse, having spring with the white horse, summer with the red horse, autumn with the black horse, and winter with the greenish pale horse. And this is akin to alchemy. In alchemy, you have these four colors. All right, you have white opposite black and red opposite green. And there's Chinese alchemy this is associated with, and original Enochian magic and angel magic this is associated with. Now, the archangels would be represented as Raphael would be the first horseman, Michael would be the second horseman, Gabriel would be the third horseman, and the fourth horseman would be Uriel. So the Archangel Gabriel would be associated with the black horse. And the Archangel Gabriel has been associated with death, and so has the angel Azrael. One could make the case that the angel that he who rode on the horse back here, who had death with him, is Gabriel, but I don't think so. I think Gabriel, because it follows when you go around the circle of a ceremonial magic circle, you have Raphael, then you go to Michael, then you go to Gabriel, then you go to Uriel, and then you go back. So one could make a case, but as far as I can tell, right now, this Scorpio, Gabriel, angel of death association with the scales and the hunger and the famine and all of that is associated with the cold, wet winds of the west, where the setting sun is, of the Archangel Gabriel. This is Gabriel, who has good and bad qualities or good and bad tasks assigned by God, as you know. Again, this is Rosemary coming to you from Ansar Angels, and thank you for listening and watching, and you have a great day.